I don't believe you're actually playing that instrument. Hey, welcome back to more Xenoblade Chronicles 2. I'm SlayerMathis, and last time we took care of the hardest quest in the game by slightly cheating. Don't worry about that part. And this time, we'll be getting ready to take care of our final super boss, the final one that I, did forget. But we, of course, do have some other quests and a heart-to-heart to take care of.
Who would have thought a place like this existed under the Cloud Sea?
Yeah. Us salvagers dive deep, but I've never dreamed there'd be this enormous space down here.
You'd be hard-pressed finding another place as vast as this, that's for sure.
Did people live here once, do you think? If the whole space is filled with buildings like the ones around here, there must have been a heck of a lot of people living in them.
True that. And the number of people aside, can you imagine the work it would take to cover this whole place in buildings?
I can hardly imagine. I've salvaged a whole bunch of treasures over the years with functions we could never figure out. If this world is where they came from, I've got to say it makes sense.
In any age, the ambitions of men build civilization up, and those same ambitions bring it crumbling down.
That's so tragic.
Why is this place in ruins, anyway?
Both of these will give 200 trust with me.
Because of the Cloud Sea?
You think the Cloud Sea appeared one day and covered the whole thing up?
Yeah. The crops wouldn't have grown anymore, so people would have had to leave. And everyone would have wound up living above the Cloud Sea instead. Does that make sense?
I've got a feeling it's the other way around. You're saying the Cloud Sea caused problems here, so people wound up living on the Titans. But I think the problems here came first, and that's how the Cloud Sea and the Titans were made. And once it became uninhabitable, they went and made a new place to live.
What do you think, Mia?
Well, let's see. Who freaking knows? I mean, this stuff must have happened more than just centuries ago. How are we meant to have any idea?
Well, that's why we're speculating, right?
Yeah, but I reckon it's a waste of time. We still know barely anything about this place. If we want to work stuff out, we should search for more clues.
Well, that's a fair point. This place is beyond anything we've imagined, after all.
To be honest, I think it's actually kind of exciting.
And so that completes Morth of the Unknown. Of course, as we know, since we have gone through the game, not exactly the case, but hey, you can't fault them for trying. They didn't know. Canonically now they know, considering where we're at. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna pop on into Tora's house, because we do have another quest that we can go and grab. Of course, this will be our quest for today, before we
Where do we go from here?
continue on with taking on Pernicious Benf. And that's what that's hard to have done, I believe. Hey, Rexfex! Rexfex, do many salvage, many adventure, many place, right? Yeah, we've been all the place, not to mention it. Of course, I've salvaged in Gorman Moradane, who hasn't, but also Temple Ranch and the Cliffs of Moratha. I never imagined I'd go salvaging a place like that before I met Pyra. Adventures not get tired of it all, not feel like do anything, see everything. A little bit of a yes and a little bit of both. Done so much. That's the thing with salvaging, you can always go deeper or further, so what I'm saying is, I don't know. But Rex can never make up mind. But Tora have good news. Good news? What sort of good news? Tora figure a way to power up Cloud Sea Compass. Power it up? What's it gonna do then? Power me to find new salvage points. Maybe many more to find in current compass not strong enough. Well, maybe no, Tora not sure. You say I have trouble making up my mind. Meh. Well, maybe Tora, just try and see what happened. I suppose. Tora, what kind of parts are we gonna need for this? The perfect range sensor, or one of those zigzag shafts, or thunder compasses? Next, hunt for parts, huh? Well, Tora's already disappointed, but this time not needing anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Tora do a little bit this, a little bit that, and power go up. I'm not sure I want to ask what that entails, but I'm leaving it to you, Tora. It's done. Cheers, Tora. Maybe too soon to say thank you, Rexrix. Maybe find new salvage points, maybe not. As Tora says, just theory. Well, there's never reason to test it out then. Let's see here. We'll do some salvaging from the old factory in Moradane, and more. Shiva Harbor and the Lotharian Archipelago promising too. Also, look! Also, we're salvaging Forgotten Waste and Garth, Tora think. There's also the prospect of Balpor's ruins in the Cliffs of Moratha. That's 4 places all in all. May not mean definitely salvage treasure in each place, though. Go and look, see for yourself. Maybe, but there's still problems and spots I never knew about. Worth a try. Maybe find good things. Oh, and best use normal cylinder tour, I think. You won't waste any of the good ones on a test, eh? Starts off upgrades and tinkering. This is a DLC quest, so yeah, not an issue there. They did mention the Forgotten Wastes will have one.
We've arrived.
Which
Where
is
do we go from
new,
here?
I believe. I did say to use normal cylinders, but like,
Bring us back
we
some
could
local
afford
snacks,
it.
you hear?
So
Shouldn't be too long.
I did, by the way, miss one, that there is another. Last time I talked about all the DLC quests,
Alright.
or rather the quests that have the different blades involved that are beyond,
I'm
or, like,
back.
you know, rare blades
Miss me?
interacting with each other. I did miss that there is one between Gorg and Boreas. So we won't get anything from here. It's about how easy it is to dive down to a place that there's nothing worth hauling up anyway. One of the other salvage points would be a bit more profitable. This one I don't believe you... Okay. You only get results from one of them, but, you know. Oh, is that from... Oh, do we need to go up to the... I think we need to go up to, the suspended pathway, whatever it's called. I think it's the suspended pathway? That's at least what it seems like we have to go to.
Meh. Long journeys make Dora tired.
Where to, Master Pawn?
Again, that's what it's looking like to me. Which for that, a couple ways we can get here, all of which I'm doing poorly. Of course, another large heart we can see down here
Where
that
to, Master
is
Pawn?
with I think Rex Toy Cutie Pie, or not Cutie Pie, QT. I think it's just Rex Tora QT. On that one, I think that if I recall, that was kind of just like discussing QT's existence or something along those lines. Again, has been a while since I've seen a lot of the heart-to-hearts. And of course, off the top of my head, I don't know the trust values on any of the heart-to-hearts. I mean, there's a lot of them for sure, but I don't think it's really, like, necessarily a bad thing. I mean, obviously, you know, the prospect of, you know, the more the merrier and whatnot, but, I don't know, it's just... Okay, yeah, this does take you to the, Hello Pew Pew. And they do want you to go to the, suspended pathway. But yeah, like, there's a lot to do in this game, and I do really enjoy that about it.
Can I stir up
It's
some wind?
fantastic that it had so much to do, and like, obviously having more in the game is gonna be better. Yes, suspended pathway.
Would you look at that?
It's gonna be better,
I've never
because
seen
obviously it's
anything
more
like
stuff
this
to do,
before.
and it means that, you know, having a lot of the information off the top of my head not gonna happen. There's a lot that I can say, but like there's a lot of specifics as well that's like, okay, that's not really useful to know.
Bring us back some local snacks, you hear?
At the same time,
Wait here. I'll
you
bring
know,
something
it's
great.
good that there's enough information that you can still be like, okay, I know that specifically Cassette's level 2 special is incredibly good. But you might not necessarily know the exact numbers
That could've gone
behind it.
better.
So it gives you enough information that you still are incentivized to learn, you know, what you have with the game. You're incentivized to know a lot about what's all in the game, and, you know, what different blades can do, what their strengths and weaknesses might be. But you don't need to know the exact numbers. I'm still going to give the exact numbers, just because, you know, I feel like that's kind of a nice thing to have for someone who is, you know, doing a
Keep eye out
recording
for trouble.
through of the game.
Where do we go
They're
from here?
going to go more out of their way in order to give you more information than you might normally expect. They're going to...
Very well.
Alright. they're going to give you more information than just that bare minimum. They're going to tell you, hey, here's what else is in the game. It's not just, I will fully admit this is a problem that I do have, that there needs to be more than just, talking over the gameplay. And again, I do struggle with that a lot. It's something that you want to, you want to have these different things about people who are playing through the game. You don't just want it to be, that you're not getting anything out of it. Of course, I always want to suggest, I play these games because I do really enjoy them, and I want other people to play them as well. So, it's, obviously there is that motive on my part, but I don't want to just kind of, again, it's something that I just always have that problem, just kind of in general, that I don't really know how to, there's a lot of struggles with talking more about, okay, here's what, I might want to, here's what I might want to learn, here's what I might want to, get kind of, here's what I might want to say in a situation like this. I'm a lot better at, commentating over something that's happening than, kind of just going out and, just speaking, beyond just the basics. And, that's something that I do think that I've improved on, but I'm not saying that I'm still, good at it or anything. But, I think having enough stuff that I can go through and I can talk about, hey, there's this part about the game that you might not know about. There's this thing that is still a really interesting aspect of it that, again, it's not vital information to know. It's not necessary to know that, the exact percentages of getting a rare blade. What you need to know is that there's a chance you can get a really powerful blade that's different from heavy character. There's still need to know, hey, there's this thing that's kind of hidden away. And, just being able to see some of the things, just being able to know that it's there can be enough, but I still want to provide more than just that. It's a big reason why I like trying to go into voice actors, and that is definitely a lot more difficult with Xenoblade games because they are a UK cast, so I don't really know exactly what people are known for in this. Valkor's Ruin is the only one that will have something for us.
Shouldn't be too long.
So, that is just of note. Yeah, so it's like going out. I still want to show as much as I can. I just wish I could tell more, kind of that old writing edge, show, don't tell, and whatnot. This does look pretty good. Which was the favorite stuff to salvage here? Well, it's easier to find treasure here than other salvage points anyway. I'm sure to say thanks to Tora. So yeah, upgrade to tinkering only gives us this new thing as a result. Discovered a new salvage point at Valkor's Ruins in the Cliffs of Moratha. Very boring description at the end there.
If I may.
But yeah,
If I may.
I do definitely have that issue where I do need to do more of, speaking beyond what's just happening in the game, while still being interesting. That's kind of that's the real big problem. I don't really know what to say to keep interest beyond, you get what I'm trying to say.
That was a slow.
I mean, I suppose something that, again, I can talk as much as I want about how much I love this game, which I do. I can talk about all the problems that the game has, which I have, and it does have. The game has a lot of problems as well, but it's kind of finding that extra thing to go beyond just what is happening exactly on the screen at this moment in time is something that's very difficult to do. So that's why having the information that, okay, this does, this gives you this much trust and helps show you what the dialogue is, otherwise, but you don't necessarily need to do that yourself. You don't necessarily need to know all the information, know the exact things. What matters in terms of the affinity chart is that you do it. 100 trust doesn't really matter that much. It's a drop in the bucket for you to get,
Hold your positions.
an extra 100 trust.
Judgment.
Who needs to do 100 extra trust?
Command me.
It's not something you need to do, really. But it's not something that you need to know that you get an extra 100 trust with, with a rare blade if you choose this specific option as opposed to the other one. You're getting, it's still a big boost of trust that 100 doesn't really matter. You might get that in a few fights. I still don't exactly. That's one thing. I still don't exactly know how you what the exact numbers for how much trust do you get for beating an enemy, how much trust do you get for completing a quest. They have stuff on the how much you get for certain they do tell you enough for the different pouch items, because pouch items is your best way to get trust. Pouch items are significantly better. They are just much higher quantity, just much easier to get in general. It's just, you really do want, it's most important to have the pouch items known, which I could go through every individual pouch item and tell you how much trust they give you. But that's something where it's do you really need to know that? For the most part, what you really need to know is the love source gives you a HUD. So, anything beyond that is a bonus. Anything beyond that is a bonus. What I do need to do, actually, that's one thing. Go through and get everyone's favorite items. That's something I definitely can. Get every rare blade, get all their individual items, sort it out. Of course, going through every hard part is still going to be very nice, even if it is just in the sense of, here's their dialogue, here's where they are, here's how you activate them, yada yada yada. There's a lot of basic things that you can get from just the basics of, hey, here's a heart-to-heart that we have. And, maybe there's a little bit of positing about the characters. That's something that, again, I feel like I do that decently as well. I mean, I probably can do it a lot better for sure. You're kind of armchair not necessarily armchair psychologist, but armchair writer. Hey, here's something that could be interesting about this character. I can talk a ton about, what I think would be really cool in this game, or, would be really cool to, would it be really cool to see what these other blades were doing? Yes, do I also understand why they don't show you, hey, what was Cosmos up to during the Aegis War? Realistically, who cares? But at the same time, again, realistically, who cares? But also, I care. I think it would be, real fun to know about all of these, and I can talk about that. I can talk about what I think would be really interesting to know. But also, do you really need to know it? Does it really matter? But I think that's something that the game, really has options for. I think, that can be something I suppose to talk about, kind of just what options that there would be for, expanding the game through, in the potential case of a remake, what more could they add? There's a number of rare blades that are not included in a DLC quest. Add a couple in there. That can definitely help out a little bit. There is, so off the top of my head, you could add, you gotta add quests for the Torna blades. Whether that is the members of Torna or the blades that Torna have themselves, either or. You could add those, in quests for those. You could add in you can add in quests for those. You can add in quests for the rare blades that don't have the DLC one. You know, add in heart. Well, you'd have to get the voice actors for those. Like, get in the, you know, get quests in for people like for Satin Court, or get a Hearts in for Satin Court, I should say. There's a lot of different options for what you can do still with the game, and, like, are they necessary? No. But would they be nice? Absolutely. I mean, fixing up Kuradil, just kind of changing how he's programmed a little bit, yeah, that would really help. It means that your toughest boss, your number one super boss, it's kind of disappointing because of it. Like, your toughest monster is like significantly easier than this one. This random. I mean, it's, well, random. It still is a super boss. But, like, you know. Like, there's still a lot that you can have with the game, whether that's, again, fixing a program, fixing the lip flap would be tremendous if they fix that up. But, like, there's so much more that can be added with this game. That's something I do especially love about it. That it is a game that is so still open for improvement. There's still so many things. I was spamming the plus button for our attack. And of course, there's a lot of problems with the tutorial system in this game. So, you know, kind of like bringing us. I didn't really mention any tutorials because they're not really that good. They either lie to you or they don't tell you enough, or any sorts of things like that. So, still having, you know, there's still room to improve on all of these, which I really do enjoy the fact that there is so much room yet to improve on the game, that there is so much that you can be like, okay, we can do this now, or, you know, any sort of thing. We're not gonna get a full, we're not even get a second round on this one. Whoop-a-daisy. Yeah, like, it's, I don't know. It's always nice to have all these, you know, the option for what can be improved with the game, all of these, you know, different things, like, I do think that this game can be better. Would it need a rewrite? Again, like, there's definitely, I think, a lot of the reason I wouldn't recommend the game is because of the story, not so much because of the fact that the tutorials are bad. They are, but there's a lot of stuff with, like, you know, the story's a little bit weird. It's very animated. It's a tough thing to recommend to people, like, straight up. I'm not gonna fault someone if they don't like the game because of the story. Like, yeah, I get it. But, like, I don't know, there's so much that, I've talked about this a lot with the game, but there's so much that it's like, it's so close to being a, not saying that's bad, like, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, because, like, I do think it's already a great game, and it wouldn't be a perfect game with these minor tweaks, but I do think that it's so close to being a, you know, to being this, I get, how do I want to word this? Like, okay, I guess I can say, like, it's so close to being an excellent game. Right now, it's just a great game. There's so many, like, small things that you fix them up a little bit. You add in a few tweaks here and there, and, like, gameplay-wise, this is one of the most fun games I have ever played. Like, figuring out what you can do with combat system is so fun. But, I don't know. I'm waffling.
Your
get
flattery
the,
is
was
appreciated.
it Starlight
Nim.
chip? If I can actually go into the right one. Shining Star chip. Shining Star chips are... I think they're just versatile in. Pretty much. Not much works, but since you only get the 17 Dial-It-In chips per playthrough, Shining Star is kind of just like, in case you need like 20, you shouldn't need 20. Block rate's the most situational. Crit rate can be situational, I suppose, depending on what blade you have, but still. Yeah, I don't know, just kind of waffling for a while. Next time we do have another one of our Rare Blade combo quests. Again, I think this could be a lot more. With that. You know, maybe a couple per blade. Who knows? But regardless, that'll be something that we'll take care of next time. But until then, see you guys later.
There must have been a war.
I think you hit the nail on the head. Some terrible war sounds pretty likely.
But would a war cause this much devastation? Maybe it was some natural disaster or other.
Not out of the question, but a natural disaster's not gonna level everything. It wouldn't be this widespread. Take a look outside. Ruin as far as the eye can see.
You could say the same about war, though. What kind of a war could destroy a city this big?
Maybe they had some kind of incredible weapon we've never seen.
Or just one hell of a lot of them. I hear a crazy number of blades fought in the war 500 years ago.
You think something like that happened before?
Hard to say for sure. I think maybe we need to explore a bit further. This place is beyond anything we've imagined, after all.
To be honest, I think it's actually kind of exciting.